Escape from the wedding, her husband's children out of wedlock and a mysterious illness, the life story of the sad Princess Charlene of Monaco. If in the light of recent events you suddenly thought that the most scandalous royal family in the world are representatives of the British monarchy, then it is worth remembering the modern Monegasques. The love story of Monegasque Prince Albert and his wife, multiple world champion swimmer Charlene, maiden name Whittstock, could easily form the basis of a book, too. While we wait for the princess to take the example of Prince Harry and also release a memoir, defaming in them an unfaithful playboy husband, let's congratulate her on her birthday. On January 25, Charlene turns 45 years old. Of these 11, her name is often flashed in the news in connection with not the most pleasant occasions: escaped from under the crown, found out about her husband's illegitimate children, got into the rehab. Now, however, the lol, 12 million euros a year, which, according to rumors, pays the prince to his wife for the performance of duties of the princess, could well solve all the conflicts in the family. Actually, what else could expect professional swimmer Charlene, marrying Albert, Prince of Monaco, who has long been labeled a Don Juan? Naomi Campbell, Brooke Shields, Lisa Marie Presley, Claudia Schiffer, Kylie Minogue. The heir to the Monegasque monarchy has been credited with an affair. In 1992, Albert had an illegitimate daughter, Jasmine Grace, which he did not want to recognize for a long time. In 2003, there was a son, Eric Alexander the Prince, and then demanded to do a DNA test. And shortly before the wedding with Whittstock in 2011, rumors of a third child, with the mother of which, they say, Albert had a connection, being in a relationship with Charlene. As French journalists found out, to escape from her fiancé, Charlene tried 3 times. When in May 2011, the media splashed scandalous headlines, she was at the fitting of a wedding dress in Paris. Le Journal du Dimanche newspaper learned that Whittstock asked for asylum in the embassy of her native South Africa, but something went wrong. The second attempt to escape during the Monaco Grand Prix also ended in fiasco. The prince's aides were rumored to have confiscated his fiancée's passport. And, finally, attempt number 3. Just a couple of days before the wedding, Charlene bought an airplane ticket to Cape Town and went to the airport in Nice, but there she was intercepted and brought to the palace. At the wedding, Whittstock was in floods of tears. Do not cry, whispered in her ear her newly married husband, and reporters actively clicking camera shutters to capture how the princess wipes her eyes. White starched handkerchief. The newlyweds spent their first wedding night in different hotels, with the bride heavily guarded. It's crazy, it's all untrue, tried to dissociate from the rumors of the palace. Charlene's title as the saddest princess was firmly established. People quickly wondered, why isn't she smiling in the photos? Well, sometimes it's hard to smile. No one knows what goes on behind the scenes, the princess later noted in an interview. Will divorce after the birth of the heir, predicted the end of the royal union. All who could not lazy. In December 2014, twins Jacques and Gabriella were born, but no divorce followed. On the contrary, Charlene even established relations with Albert's children out of wedlock, introducing them to the twins. And in December 2020, a certain woman claimed to have a daughter from the prince. Charlene's reaction to the news about another illegitimate child of her husband did not take long. Just a few days later, the princess shocked everyone with a new hairstyle, shaving off the hair on one temple. "This is my decision," Charlene responded to criticism of her image. "It seems to have provoked a heated discussion, but I dreamed of such a hairstyle for a long time. I've heard all these comments like, what is she doing? She's representing the royal family. I have nothing to say to that, except that there are more important issues that deserve attention in 2021. And in January 2021, Charlene disappeared from the radar. She went to South Africa on a charity mission and did not return to Monaco. The palace reported that the princess faced a very serious ENT infection. Surgery would be required. There were several surgeries, one lasting 4 hours. Insiders reported to Page 6 that the patient nearly died and generally lost half her weight because she couldn't swallow. As a result, the medics banned their ward for some time to fly on airplanes, so Charlene did not appear in Monaco for 10 months. The question of why all this time the children were with their father and only a couple of times visited their mother in South Africa remained open. In November, the princess returned to the principality to leave again. According to Albert, his wife secluded herself in a certain clinic in Switzerland to recover from emotional exhaustion. German publication Bild has learned that the princess spent 4 months in Les Alpes, one of the best institutions dealing with mental problems and addictions. Staying there, by the way, costs patients €43,000 a week. The conclusions were self-evident: the royal family is on the verge of divorce. Charlene was sent to the rehab. I repeat once again, it has nothing to do with us as husband and wife, the prince reassured the public. There are no problems between us, the matter is of a completely different nature. Divorce really did not happen, and in March 2022 the palace finally pleased the subjects, and annoyed the haters. The princess arrived home in Monaco. I am proud of my wife. Charlene is doing well, Albert praised his wife in an interview with People shortly before the new year. She takes an active part in various events, trying to appear in public more often and do things she likes. Last year was very hard for her, and the beginning of this year too. But things have gotten better. Charlene has returned to many of her responsibilities, including her home life. No, it's not about cleaning, laundry and ironing. Charlene was planning a renovation of the palace a few years ago, which had to be postponed because of the pandemic. And the magazine Voici found out how much the princess has estimated her boisterous activity for the good of the state. Charlene forced Albert to pay her €12 million a year for the fact that she continues to play in the family. Be that as it may, lovers of mysticism have their own explanation for this unhappy union. A curse has been hanging over the Grimaldi royal family since the 13th century. According to legend, the founder of the family Rainier I kidnapped and raped a Flemish girl who turned out to be a witch. None of the Grimaldis will ever know happiness in marriage, she foretold.